guys, welcome back today. We're going to talk about the Canadiens, of course. We're going to talk about the Canadiens' third overall pick, Jesperi Kotkaniemi, and his future with the Montreal Canadiens. Now, of course, he was picked third overall by Montreal Canadiens in the 2018 NHL Draft, and it was surprising to some, but for the few that were keeping up to date with the Montreal Canadiens, it wasn't that surprising when they ended up doing it, selecting Jesperi Kotkaniemi third overall. Now, Kotkaniemi, a center from Finland at age 17 still. In the 17-18 season at Liga, he had 57 games played, 10 goals, 19 assists for 29 points. In the World Junior Championships this season with the U18 team, he had 7 games, 3 goals, 6 assists for 9 points, and a pretty solid stint offensively as well with those two teams as well. But the main thing that strikes him as he stand out is his defense. He's a great two-way guy and definitely a great balanced forward, and probably the best center to come out of this draft. And while I don't think he has quite, top 3 talent, I do believe that he was the best center to come out of this draft just with the talent and the overall two-way playmaking ability. I feel like Kotkaniemi brings a lot to the table, and even though the Canadiens selected him third overall, it wasn't a terrible pick. It was probably a lot higher than he probably should have gone, but I still think that he's a good player. Again, not third overall quality, but a very good player at that will be a serviceable player at least for the Montreal Canadiens. He has a ton of potential, and you can definitely fulfill that with Montreal. But the big thing that, worries me is, well, he's going to the Montreal Canadiens, and while that's a bit sad, it strikes me as a concern. How is he going to adapt to the Montreal Canadiens? Are they going to play him year one? Is he going to go play back to Finland? And if they do end up going the route of playing him in year one, honestly, I feel like it'll be a mistake. He's not even 18 yet, and of course, he just got drafted. I feel like it's just a little bit too soon with him. We saw that last year with the same third overall pick from Finland, Miro Heiskanen, him having a fantastic season in the Liga again, but he needed one more season, and I feel like that would be the case with Kotkaniemi. The guy strikes me as one of those guys that just needs one more season, and he's ready to go. Maybe even 2, but I feel like he needs one more season to really season down there in the Liga and have some more time there in Finland to really round out his game and to round it out. I feel like he definitely needs that time to become an NHL caliber player. He has that talent, he has that potential, but I feel like, sheltering a little bit back in the Liga or anywhere down there in the minor leagues will definitely help him a lot more with his development than just straight rushing him to NHL year one. Now, the best thing for the Canadiens to do if they were to play him year one would to give him shelter minutes, not play him too much, but, still give him some ice time. I don't like them going down that route of playing him in year one, but if they are going to do that, have a little bit more of a sheltered role, probably like a third-line center type ice time. I feel like giving him a first-line center ice time right off the bat is not going to be healthy for his development at all. I feel like he needs some time to develop, at least if they're going to play him at year one. Give him some shelter minutes and make sure that he plays with the right players and plays and develops right. It's so crucial for Montreal to get this right, get Kotkaniemi right, and make him a first-line center. He has that potential, he definitely has the talent, but it's all about Montreal, and it's all the cards are in their hands. Are they willing to actually go the full route and make sure that he develops that way? It's going to be interesting to see how he develops and if the Montreal Canadiens don't screw him up, but it's really a big testament to what they've done. To Montreal, it's the biggest thing in the organization right now is getting Kotkaniemi ready and get Kotkaniemi for the future. And the future is very bright for him, but Montreal has to make sure it really is. With Kotkaniemi, even though he's a great player, he still has some concerns. He still needs some, seasoning down in any league other than the NHL. I feel like he's not quite ready. For Montreal, if they do end up going the NHL route, they're going to have to really shelter his minutes, be able to, control what he does and who he plays against. And that's the big thing. If they rush him, it's going to be really concerning. To see how he develops is going to be interesting, but he's rushing him year one. I just don't feel like that's a good idea. And for Montreal, Kotkaniemi becoming a first-line center, it should be one of their main, concerns and one of the main things that they should work on throughout the organization. One of their main things that they need to do correctly. And for Kotkaniemi, he definitely has that talent. He definitely has the potential to be one, but it's all about the Canadiens stepping up and being able to develop him, being able to develop him right, make sure that he gets enough ice time in wherever he plays, and being able to make sure that he fills the potential that he has. With Montreal, it should be one of their biggest concerns, one of their biggest liabilities, and they should get this right. They pretty much have to. If the Canadiens don't screw this up, they got a great center on their hands, and if they don't screw it up, they're going to have a good future with Kotkaniemi, with Domi, with Pacioretty, with other guys as well in that forward group. It looks better, but Kotkaniemi needs to develop as a first-line center if Montreal needs to get competitive in the future and in the now as well. Kotkaniemi is one of their biggest pieces, if not their biggest piece, and him developing into what the potential he has bring so far is one of the most crucial things in Montreal's organization right now. Montreal developing him right should be on the top of their to-do list, their top priorities. They need to get this right. They really, really need to get this right if they really want to secure their future on the organization as a whole to get better. Kotkaniemi becoming that first-line center is the biggest step. Now, of course, this whole scenario relies on Montreal not trading him like they did Sergachev, like they did PK Subban, like they did countless other people. If they can keep Kotkaniemi, that's the biggest thing right now. I think they will. I think that they know that they got their guy, but they need to keep him, unlike some other players who they trade away and have obviously bit them in the butt. So it's kind of sad to say that Montreal, the first step to him becoming a first-line center for them is to keep them, but that's where we're at with Montreal. So with Kotkaniemi, I want to say his future is bright, but Montreal needs to do some things that they haven't really done before. Develop him right, develop him like he needs to, develop him in the minor leagues. Do not rush this guy. They're not going to be competitive next year unless Carey Price has a bounce back season and is like an MVP again. Kotkaniemi needs time, and for Montreal, they don't need him in the roster right now. They don't need him right now to really be competitive. And with Kotkaniemi, I feel like he definitely needs that seasoning down in the Liga, down wherever. I just believe that developing him right with Montreal should be one of their biggest priorities. And he has so much potential to fill so many great, such a great career ahead of him. I just I have some concerns with Montreal and their track record, of course, for the past, I don't know, like 5 or 10 years. They need to get this right if they want to have success in the future and even in the now. Kotkaniemi is their biggest piece, and they really, say this again, really need to get this right. But the kid has an exciting future ahead of him, of course, if Montreal develops him right, but he's a great, talented forward, definitely, I'd say, top 10 potential from out the draft. He has a good road of him and a good career. I'm hoping that he fulfills that potential with Montreal, and Montreal deserves a guy like this to finally, release the franchise of all the curses that they've had over the past 5 years of just terrible drafting, terrible trading, and all that. So it's going to be very crucial for them to get back to where they are, to develop Kotkaniemi right, and to be able to get him into a first-line center for Montreal's future. That, for them, is our most crucial aspect, and that's the thing that they should make top priority. Now, I'm not going to say if Kotkaniemi was the right choice there at number 3, but I do believe that he's a solid player and a decent fit in Montreal. Hoping that he works out for both sides, the Kotkaniemi side and Montreal's side. I hope he works out, hope he develops right, and hopefully he becomes a great player in the NHL. I wish him luck. I really do like the kid, and I hope that he turns out well for Montreal. And for Montreal's sake, I really do hope that he develops and becomes that first-line center that they really want at number 3. But Montreal, you have one job. Do not screw this up. But that's going on for today, guys. Make sure to subscribe. Tell me down below what you think of Jesperi Kotkaniemi's future with the Montreal Canadiens. Do you think he can develop? What are your concerns with him and the Montreal organization in developing him right? I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.